Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a quick review for Real Housewives of Potomac. I say quick because it ain't really nothing. The season episode number as well as the title will be in the description bar below, but let's just jump into this. Day 3 at the lake house. The guys are coming up today. I'm excited about the guys coming up because I just think that the conversation, the socializing, the energy is just so much more fun when the husbands are involved. The franchise is Real Housewives of ... but at the same time, it's good to see the husbands, in my opinion. It's good to see the children, their interactions. Like, when the ladies are just by themselves, no matter what the franchise is, it's just not, to me, as entertaining. It can be kind of monotonous, and honestly, it's the same stuff over and over again. Like, in terms of the conversation never really elevates to this place. Like, okay, so Monique, let's do Monique first. Monique, just let the fire pit situation go. Like that, listen, you've gone too far when Candiace's behavior makes you look bad. Like, when Candiace looks good behind the whole situation, you've gone too far, because it's difficult to make Candiace look good, in my opinion, or look like anything other than a fraud. So, yeah, I just didn't understand it. It just seemed like it came out of the blue. And I know there's a lot of filming that happens all together, and then we only see like small portions of it. So it was almost like something happened off camera that Monique was reacting to on camera, or that's what they cut out and showed us. It just, like, I was just like, Monique is rarely ever this petty. Now, I do believe Monique is controlling. Obviously, if your baby at 3 months and your bird, both you are potty trained, like, she runs a tight ship. And I've said before, it's really more my personality. Monique is really more my personality. Like, I'm a person that super plans. I try to think of every little bitty detail. I like to make things nice. Shout out to Dorinda, Real Housewives of New York City. I like to make it nice for people, right? Although as I've gotten older, I've learned not to be as restrictive. I'm cool if you want to go to bed, if you want to stay in the house. Like, don't let me light the fire and everybody go to bed. Then it's gonna be a problem. But if I light the fire, we're gonna all sit around the fire. But if y'all want to sit inside and we move inside later, like, we can split up. Like, we don't have to all just like be together, move as one. All the time, right? That's my whole point. Anyway, so and it just got worse from there. It started at the fire pit because she was upset about them being inside and talking, Gizelle, Ashley, and Monique, and it just continued the next day. In the morning, she just kept bringing it up, even after Candiace had apologized. Like, I just didn't see. Listen, let me tell you something. This on and on with me, you can't go on and on with me. You just can't just keep going on and on with me. Like, that's gonna be the best way for me to shift to this really not so honey sweet place. You get what I'm saying? Like, I done told you I'm sorry. Now let it go now, because if we doing this, or we doing this this what we doing? Okay, now, because you ain't gonna like it now, you're gonna end up crying, and it's not gonna be my fault because I told you to let it go. All right. So yeah, Monique, Karen. Oh, those fireball shots were a mistake. First of all, she didn't want to smoke the CBD, but you drinking pure sugar. Fireball is nothing but pure sugar, and that is why you had such a horrible hangover the next day, Karen. Like, I don't know how many actual fireball shots she had, but I know she had like more than 6. Bravo was being shady, and they was just like running the tally up there at the end, like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, like that type of thing. But Fireball is nothing but pure sugar. It's not as much alcohol as it is sugar. And so Karen was hungover the next day. But let's go back. Drunk man speak a sober mind, and she got to talking about her and Ray, and that how she didn't sign up for no financial instability, and how she had to put a great deal of her own money into the situation, and she want her money back. She kind of sounded like she wanted the years of her life back all at the same time. I'm like, you don't come to this place, Karen. You don't get to this place and then start dragging your husband. Like, he got one pinky toe, you know, on the other side. You know what I'm saying? At the crossroads. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's at the crossroads. So, like, it was just bad form. And just, oh, man. Like, it was not a good look, especially since she was low-key dragging her own husband and saying she want her money back and all of this. Like, it wasn't a good look. So is it that he don't tell you he love you, or is it the fact that you gave this money and you kind of bitter about it, and now he done pulled all the way up from you because all you want to keep bringing up is this money situation? Or, like, I don't know. But the next day when the guys got there, Karen was so hungover. And it's the sugar. I'm telling you, stick to tequilas, vodkas, you know what I'm saying? No food coloring. Stay away from them red dye number 40, and drink. You need to have water there with you if you're going to drink like that. It's the only way that you're going to mediate that residual effects of drinking a lot of alcohol. And definitely, you got a lot on your mind. If you sad, even in the slightest way, don't be drinking to that degree. Just have you a couple of drinks and go on off the bed. The more you drink, the more that sadness going to well up in you. Okay? It was a lot of vagina talk. A lot of vagina talk, which it was a girls trip, that's fine, but it was a little bit All right, so let's talk about Wendy. Wendy was cool. Day 3. I had no problem with Wendy this episode, except that she act like an AKA, but she built like a Delta, in my opinion. That's all I got to say about Wendy. Like I said, I love it when the men come. The conversation that all the couples. Let's see. Chris came, who was Candiace's husband. Chris, Monique's husband, obviously was there. Eddie, who is Wendy's husband. Ray, Karen's husband. No Juan. And Gizelle, I'm almost afraid. Okay, so I could be wrong, but I feel like Gizelle planned it so that Jamal... Because she knew Jamal wasn't coming. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about Gizelle. Anyway, so, let's see. And Michael wasn't there, Ashley's husband. But there was this conversation that they were all having at breakfast when all the men got there and all the couples was together, where it came out that Wendy's mother and father-in-law didn't approve of her, even though her and Eddie dated from high school. Like, they still didn't approve of her. And the reason why they don't approve of her is because they don't approve of her mom and her mom's status, like, in their tribe. You know, and in the culture, like, her mom is kind of, Wendy's mom is kind of high up in the culture, and evidently Eddie's parents, I don't know what the dynamics are, because, you know, I'm not African, so I don't really know a lot about the culture. But I know it's very stringent. You find it the same way if you watch the Shahs of Sunset, or what's the one about the Indians, Middle Eastern Indians. You know, the families got to get along. And if they can't get along, they got to act like they can get along, or it's just a mess when the kids get married. So I found that very interesting. And I found the banter about it very interesting. And I feel like we had a lot to talk about there. You know, but we insist on going back to all of this salacious table flipping, knife throwing type stuff. And it's fun to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's getting kind of monotonous at this point. So I enjoyed this banter, and I found it very, very interesting. very, very interesting that it's his parents that don't like her, and it is because of her parents' status. Wendy's mom seems like she might be a bit of a high achiever, and Wendy has fallen lockstep into that. So yeah, I love that the love and affection they have for each other, and Eddie seems cool. Eddie seems like he's cool and pretty even keeled. We need even keeled husbands in order for this to work. Robin trying to drive the drama in Gizelle's absence. Like Wendy said that Karen, she alluded to the fact that Karen was good and drunk. She didn't seem like she talked about what Karen said during that thing. I'm big on that. Like if we have conversations, me and another person, or be it a couple of few other people, and I have a moment of vulnerability, like let me tell it to the group. Don't you go tell it. So it didn't look like Wendy said anything about what Karen said, but we'll find that out when Gizelle and Robin, we see Gizelle and Robin talking about it later. Then we'll know that Robin got it out of Wendy, and Wendy took it to, got it out of Wendy, and then she took it to Gizelle. We gonna figure that out. So we didn't have Juan, we didn't have curling Juan, nor did we have hubby Juan. Like, what is going on with Robin's hair? To me, she looks regular degular a lot. Like, I just don't see her status wise why she's on this show, except she's collecting a check just for moving ish around. Anyway, Gizelle, I think her and Candiace kind of actually handled the situation. After they had talked about it and divvied it up on camera, and then pulled Ashley to the side on camera, to Monique's dismay, they seemed like they handled it pretty good. In that respect, we didn't see them sidebarring with other people and talking about it. They committed to her. They weren't going to bring it up in the group. They committed to Ashley. They weren't going to talk about it sidebar with the others. They was going to let her deal with it on her own. I thought it was a very commendable display. Again, we don't know what is going on behind the scenes, but in that moment, just in that scene, I thought it was commendable the way that they handled it. Okay. Definitely Candiace was landing on a lot of thin when she was talking about I respect our relationship. I was like, what? Y'all just apologized yesterday. Like, cool it. You're going too far now. You're pushing it, Candiace. I commend Candiace for walking off when Monique was trying to really, really get it started. It was a stupid thing to try to argue with her about. It was nonsensical. She wasn't going to really be able to reason with Monique. None of the ladies were able to reason with Monique in terms of Wendy and Robin. So, yeah, walk off instead of it being this big blow up and it being this big situation. What really is going on? What is really going on? Okay? Between the two of them. We know, we're going to talk about it. Gizelle gets this award, so she's not there on that next morning because she's got to fly to New York to get this award. I don't know what the award was for. I know it was for her book, but I don't know who it was by, like who was giving it. It seemed a little church anniversary, low budget type situation, but an award is an award. I read the book, and the book is terrible. It's awful. To me, it wasn't even interesting in a way that made me. It wasn't a page turner. It just was not a page turner. And we didn't really get a lot of specifics. To me, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. Anyway, but hey, shouts out to her. So, the men get there. It's this fun time. I'm not feeling Monique's Chris this season so far. Like, I'm not feeling him. I don't know if it's the way they're filming and editing it, but he is coming across a little bit lecherous, and it's bugging me. Like, he's over sexualizing his wife to the point where it's uncomfortable. I mean, she's not for lazy moms. Like, they did this game that they played where the husbands imitated the wives, see how they could imitate their wives. Eddie did a good job. It was about, Wendy making him pick an outfit and then not like an outfit he don't pick. Chris did this little, imitation of Candiace where, she one minute she seemed like she nice and the next minute she is, this vicious person. It was spot on, right? We get to see Ray do his very, very best. You know what I'm saying? It was great for Ray. And then Chris does this thing where he brings this huge, like, champagne bottle, like one of these novelty champagne bottles. And he gets down on his knees and he turns it to the larger size. And he just kind of, just gestures like she was giving him fellatio. Like, why you didn't imitate her running around the house with the bird? Like, why do you imitate the fact that, she potty training your son at 3 months? Like, it was so awkward and inappropriate. Like, do you want other people to over sexualize your wife? Like, to me, you don't lead with it if it's something y'all tell me what y'all think about Chris and this whole over sexualized. Like, I don't know if it's how they filming him or what, but I don't know. It seemed like Monique doing her job in that department, but obviously, it concerns me because at what point are you going to want more? Like, you kind of seeming like you real hungry for it. I don't know. Yeah, but that's pretty much the whole episode. When all the ladies got ready to leave, Monique was, she was tired. They was up late to 3 a.m. the night before. Chris doesn't really help her do a lot. Like, I was noticing her putting the glasses down at the table, and he wasn't like, let me get a couple of those glasses from you and put them down. I saw what she kind of looked like she was passing it to him to put it down to where, in front of where he was sitting, and he was just like, I have no idea why you're giving me that. And she was like, okay. I guess I'll just continue to set the table. And so she was tired, but she was faking. She was faking when Candiace got ready to leave and fake like she didn't want to tell Candiace bye. I just was like, Monique, why would you invite her? Don't invite her somewhere. Don't invite people somewhere if it's your intent to mistreat them. Don't invite them somewhere if you gonna end up mistreating them. Like, it's just not a good look. So everybody leaves, and we see where Ashley is back at home, and she's trying to talk with her husband Michael about the situation. Something tells me she had already talked to Michael before this, and she kind of says it in a confessional. She said they had a discussion. The discussion got heated about the situation. The discussion got heated, and he went and slept in the baby's room, and she slept in that room, and it wasn't good. So now this next day, I believe this is the next day, she called him, and she was like, hey, you busy? And he was just like, I don't have time to talk. I got paperwork, and I'm eating, and I got a meeting in the next 2 seconds. And she was like, well, 1:30 meeting? He was like, no, I got a meeting like right now. Goodbye. She was like, well, you don't have to keep doing. And he was just like, I'm just letting you know, right? Next week, I guess they're gonna sit down and we're gonna see a clip from where they talked at dinner. Like, it's just the way they're shooting it is kind of out of sequence, but we do get to see photos of even more stuff, like him being in a hotel room with his boxes on. Like, all the blogs was talking about it. Him being filmed with a woman. Looked like they was in the casino when he was being filmed. It was very, very damning, more damning. But he's had damning stuff come out about him just about every year, every season that they've been on. So it's nothing really new, right? Like, I just feel like this is their relationship. And however they want to play it out, like, it's shocking news. It really isn't. This has happened before. I think Ashley knows what's going on. I think she had an issue with anything. It's the fact that he's doing it publicly. I mean, he was all the way in Vegas. At the same time, like, get you somebody private. Like, hire, you worth $25 million. Call a madam and get you a high priced person. You know what I'm saying? And do it that way. it's something about strange with him. It's something about the grimy way of him trying to get his meat off that is, I think she got a problem with. Like, it's public, and I think he like it to be kind of grimy, kind of random-ish. You know what I mean? Like, he's trolling like he don't have $25 million in the bank. Like, he can't afford $30,000 for a hooker, a high-price hooker. It's ridiculous. My issue is that she's pregnant again. That's come out since last episode. It's been revealed that she's pregnant again now with their second child, and I just feel like, okay, this is your relationship with your husband. You kind of have co-signed on it. It's cool. You guys have got the rules and regulations. Whether he's honoring them or not, I don't know. But don't now, 2 seasons from now, be divorcing him, or next season y'all be divorcing in this ugly divorce, and you playing like this victim. Now we got to go through this whole thing where I feel for her. I don't feel for her. I'm not sorry for her. Like, this is the arrangement. This is the deal you made. Even swap can't be no swindle. It can't. Like, this is the exchange you made to get what you wanted, which was children and a forever payday. So that's all I got to say about it. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. What did y'all think about this episode? Do you guys think it's a little bit better when the husbands are there and then things aren't awkward and weird? Like, it's a little bit more organic, in my opinion. It's not as stagey, and to me it's not as argumentative. And I think it's equally as fun. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, 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 I'll holler.